Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to the community conversation brought to you by Prototype Training Systems, home of CrossFit Prototype. The community conversation highlights a different member from the Prototype community each week and allows them to tell their story, share their life experience, communicate their perspective on all things fitness. We've all listened to podcasts and watched YouTube videos that highlight some of the world's greatest leaders and visionaries, and we believe there's some amazing people in this Prototype community, and we want you to get to know them. So to the end, I want to introduce you to our seventh guest on the community conversation, Keivan Russo. Keivan has been part of the Prototype community for literally almost 7 years. I don't know if you knew that, Keivan. But
Yeah,
he
I looked it up last night to double check.
he recently got engaged to his now fiance, Andrea, almost coming up on a year in engagement. He's an avid snowboarder and just an all around good dude, and has grown a pretty famous mustache at this point. So, Keivan, thank you for being part of the community conversation.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
Yeah, man. So we're going to get to that mustache, certainly. And if you're listening to this and just listening and not watching it, you will want to flip to the YouTube version of this so you can take a look at that awesome mustache. I am jealous and envious of it. But before we get into the mustache conversation, why don't you just, Keivan, why don't you give the community a little information on you, give us your background, tell us your story, and how you got started at Prototype.
Sure. So, grew up in Framingham, Mass. Pretty much my whole life. Fun fact: born in Australia, but came back to the States after about a year. My parents were out there working. Been in Framingham since I was like 3. Played all like sports, soccer, baseball. I think, yeah, a little bit of tennis here and there, but little kid sports. And then in high school, played a little bit of baseball, but then really just became a wrestler. And that kind of developed who I think I am as an athlete now, or at least my mindset per se. Did that pretty seriously for 4 years. Went to college and kind of dropped all the activities, played a little bit of rugby, but partied and didn't exercise as much. And I saw the results of that, and it wasn't great. So I, took it upon myself to fix it, went to the gym with buddies at school, and then finished school, continued to go to the gym. I went to the BSC in Westboro because that's the gym I belonged to in Boston when I was in school at Wentworth. And so I just carried my membership over, got pretty bored of the gym, going by myself, getting yourself there every day after work. And so I ended up running a half marathon the summer of July of 14. So I trained for it all spring to like change things up. Never really a big runner, enjoyed that a lot after the first month, but was done with it when I was done with it. And I was like, I got to start something new. And CrossFit always kind of appealed to me, going back to wrestling, just the type of like, multi-movement workouts mixed in with weights. But you're still, it's on yourself, but you're still part of a team, which is what wrestling was. And so I was always intrigued, and I didn't necessarily want to go to a towny gym back in Framingham and just deal with a bunch of kids from school. And this was, you guys were really close at the time when I was living at my parents' house. And I did a little bit of research, and I was like, you know what? I drive by this place for so long. I popped in, and I did an elements class with our virtuosity. Was it elements or virtuosity?
We used to be Elements, and then
it used to be, yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
got it. Yeah.
It was like August 2nd. Did it with Garrett and TJ.
Mm-hmm.
And
another fellow mustache guy.
Yeah, another fellow mustache guy. That's right. And did it. I was like, this is cool. I'm into it, and kind of just got hooked from there on out. It was just you guys took the thought out of it a little bit. I remember spending time on my phone and the internet during work, like, what am I going to do for a workout this week? Like, what program should I do? And just trying to figure that stuff out and find something that I like that kept you motivated. But coming to the gym at CFP was it was so easy. And And I was always very nervous about the CrossFit cult, they called it back, in the 2010s and stuff. And I mean, there's still that joke about that, but I was just, I didn't know what to expect. And it was awesome. Here I am 7 years later almost. And I live on the other side of Framingham. So I'm actually further away. I was just looking at this last night. I live within a 5-minute drive of a couple other gyms, but I like coming to you guys. It's I got my father to go there probably like 3 or 4 years ago now. And
Petey, shout out Petey.
Big Pete. So yeah, CFP is awesome. People that go there are great. The coaches, you did a great job just putting everything together, and it just keeps you coming back for more. And it went from like not having to think about what I'm doing to now like I've learned so much about myself exercise wise, and like how to exercise and how my body works, like how different muscles control different things. And now I'm like, now you do your homework, and I'm like, all right, what am I going to do that? Like, what's on the programming this week? And the days that I don't do that, I actually sometimes it works out. I'm like, wow, good thing I didn't check. I smoked it. But then other days I'm like, man, I wish I looked at it. I would have like prepared myself for this a little more, just because of all the information I have now. It's pretty cool.
There's like so many questions that I have, and I think that we can spin off from this. The first thing that I didn't know about you is that you were born in Australia. So what were your parents doing out there? You said they were working?
Yeah, my dad got an offer from the insurance company he was working for at the time, Chubb Insurance, and they're like, hey, you want to go live in Australia for a couple years and work out there? And him and my mom were like, yeah, let's do it. So they went there for 3 years. I came about, and but it was too far, I think, because you can ask him at some point, I'm sure, but family wasn't close. But it was a cool experience. So they came back and landed here. We went to New Jersey for like 9 months, and then we ended up here.
That's cool. I literally didn't know that. So you started at Prototype in 2014. You remember the Elements class, because they're not called Elements anymore. They're the Virtuosity sessions. What was your experience like your first workout? Because you mentioned that you're going to the gym, going with your buddies, then kind of working out your own at BSC, then trained for a half marathon, did it all on your own. Your background's in wrestling, the team camaraderie, team sport component, something that you really like. You like the diversity of the movements and stuff with CrossFit. So when you came in, you did your first workout. What did you expect? What did you experience? Was it like the same? Did you get what you thought you were going to experience? Like you mentioned, like the concept or the whole cult sort of component, or the misconception of CrossFit, or a component of it. Like what was that like, or what were your expectations and all that sort of stuff?
Well, I would agree. It is a misconception, because like this is called the community conversations, and it is a community. You can be involved or not involved. It's up to you, but either way it works. Because I actually started kind of kept my distance, but I just came to the gym, worked out, but it was kind of hard to continue to maintain that type of relationship. You just get sucked in, and it's awesome. But that first workout was cool. It was just Garrett and TJ. They were kind of just like hanging out, they were pretty cash. It felt a little bit like a tryout, but with no repercussions. Just like, let's see, we're going to do this. Let's try this movement. And then like either the first or second one, we did wall balls, and Garrett I used like, I don't know, a 7-pound ball for one toss. And he's like, all right, you're going to use the 20-pound ball. And then I remember him doing that. And like, from that moment on, I was like, all right, like it just like re-sparked this internal drive, I guess, to want to do better. And then I remember joining class for the first time, and we did there was running involved, and we had to run to I wanted to try to name drop, but I forget the old sign of what was there.
The Santander or Sovereign Bank or whatever.
Yeah, Santander. That's still there. I think it's whatever took up Yummy Mummy.
Oh, that was the flower place.
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but yeah.
But yeah, so we had to do, we were running and everyone was running together. And I remember like, you kind of like, if you want to, you can see where you line up. And that's just like the competitive instinct in me. And it makes me want to just do more. And I was like, all right. So you think, you go in there thinking you're going to be a hot shot. And it was very humbling in a good way to like realize that, these people have been putting in work and they're here and I got smoked. And I was like, this is sweet. Like I was breathing hard and you feel good afterwards. Everyone, and no one's like, like loser, like you suck, like you were, they're like, come on, man, let's go, let's finish it up. Unless you're in the 5:30, and then I'll give a shout out to my Bro 30 boys, but that's all good fun though.
Yeah, you have your own little camaraderie with some of the fellow guys at the 5:30. Yeah. Hopefully they're listening to this. Abby, one of the 5:30 p.m. is converted to a 5 a.m. now. I don't know.
Is that fact?
It's straight up fact. We see him at 5 a.m. now. He's he gets in, he gets after it. His schedule changed a little bit. So, but it's still a strong crew at 5:30. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. Evening crew is great, and it certainly can be humbling. And it sounds like from your first experience, you found that you had some strengths, or your background benefited you a little bit. Kind of going into it. So like you were able to start with like some of the heavier weights, and I would believe that would be like certainly motivating. It's like, all right, what else can I do? Right.
Absolutely. And that's pretty much what happened. I came in and Heather was coaching, Heather Clancy. Mm-hmm. And I used to be in her class all the time for like the first few months I was there. And I remember like, because I was going consistently, just seeing this exponential improvement. Because it was like, I think it was probably deadlifting, and I hadn't deadlifted in a controlled environment since high school. And lifting when you're 16, I don't know, 20 years, whatever it is, 15 years ago, that was a different experience. So I went from like 135 pounds quickly into the high 200s, and I was like, wow, like I didn't know I could lift this kind of weight. And Monday, I deadlifted 400 for 2, which was like a personal, like 400 has been this like Mount Everest for me that I haven't been actively after, but it was really cool to hit that and kind of think back to 7 years ago when I was like, I didn't even know what kind of weight I could lift. And
dude, 400, man, that's freaking big. That's big weight. It's like 4 wheels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. It was cool. I was pumped about that. So.
And for a double too. Shit, that's awesome. I
don't
know if I'm supposed to swear. I don't think there's any kids listening to this.
That's okay.
I love that. So you're still, even 7 years in, still setting new records, still doing stuff. Like, what are the other things that you want to conquer, or you want to improve on? And that's, I think, the beauty behind some of this stuff, is that there's always stuff to work on. I find myself too, I've done a gazillion different things. There's always stuff to work on. There's always things to improve on. And you certainly seem to be the type of person that doesn't avoid working on like those weaknesses or areas of improvement. So what are the next things for you?
I guess we're doing our goal review session live, huh?
You got it, man. So full disclosure, everyone listening right now, I am up Keivan's ass about doing a goal review session. So everyone listening here, we want you guys to do these goal review sessions every 90 days. Check in. How are you doing? How can we help? And I've been pestering you probably the last 3 or 4 weeks since the last time you did a goal review session. So yeah, in full transparency, this is your live goal review session.
Cool. Well, since we're doing it, I've been thinking about it. It's not like I've been ignoring it.
I just joke with you.
No, I know. I mentioned this to you a couple weeks ago. Actually, we were chatting, and I was like, my strength is there, and I want to keep improving on strength, but I don't want to get lost in the weights. I really want to improve my stamina and like my speed, and kind of just get quicker while maintaining, I'm trying to think of the right word for it, but I guess get like cut up, or just, be able to be quicker and still move the weight. Like, don't sacrifice the weight so you can run, but get the wind behind you and last for a 30-minute workout at 80% versus going in at 60% and maybe getting to 70, and building on that and building on the strengths that I have developed. And because last year my big goal was consistency, because I kind of been through being here for 7 years. I've been through some different phases. Talk
a little bit about that, because I feel like some people that are probably listening to this have experienced that. And actually, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I know for a fact that, there have been times where you've kind of, stopped, and then you came back in, stopped, and then literally like, it's been a while now, you've been super consistent, like one of the most consistent, and as a matter of fact, when you can't come in, you're virtual too. So talk a little bit about that journey. That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, so it might have a little bit to do with maturity since I started as a 24-year-old, but and I'm now 31, but
You're old, man. You just had a birthday.
That's right, a couple days ago. So
I'm just kidding.
Feeling it. I like drink extra water now or something.
Yeah, drink your prune juice now.
Yeah, drink your prune juice, dates for dessert. But yeah, so the first came in really excited, and like 24, I was still able to kind of like carry on with the lifestyle where you can work out, do whatever you want on the weekends, come back and like pretty much be okay. Mm-hmm. And I did that and I continued to see progress, and I started, and you do like a big jump. You go from like, you don't know what you have to like, you get to this plateau. I remember plateauing for the first time after about a year and a half or something. And that's when we started lifting classes. And I was like, kind of getting frustrated. Like, man, I've been doing the same thing now for like a year, like 4 or 5 months, like nothing's changing. So we did a lifting class, and then that with Ben was coaching those. Kenny and I did it. I think Garrett was in those, and Avi as well. But yeah, I did lifting, and then all of a sudden I saw the weight improve again, and I always kind of just figured that the stamina would figure itself out if I would show up. Mm-hmm. Then like my lifestyle was pretty like up and down. So like, because I worked out in the afternoon, if I were to go out with people from work or friends after work, I'd miss days. And then all of a sudden I found myself probably at like 2016, 25, 26, hitting a lot of like miss a week and then come back for a week, miss a week. It was like very spotty. Figuring stuff out personally, like, between relationships or my living, work. And, but the gym has been the most consistent thing probably in my life besides my job for this amount of time, by the way. I meant to mention that earlier. But yeah, so, start, quick growth, plateau, make some tweaks, learn some stuff, grow again, knowledge-wise for weightlifting. And then I did a little bit of nutrition, like way back. Heather, Yo-Yo, yeah. Mm-hmm. She was like a nutrition coach briefly, and I learned a little bit then. And then I actually took a break because I bought a house and everything was working really well, but the nutrition stopped, and I really got really strong up until the end of 2016, but I got slow and I got kind of heavier, mass to move mass, right? And but I didn't really like the Metcons were like whatever to me, but I just look forward to weightlifting. And then I bought this house, and I renovated it for a year, every day after work, every Saturday, Sunday. I did it was like my second job. So I couldn't make two of them work. But I don't want to say miserable, but I missed it so much. And like, I knew, could I have made it work? Maybe, but even though I wasn't done, 7 months later, I came back and I was like, I don't care. Like, at that point, I was fed up. I was like, I'm going back to the gym. Like, I need it in my life, and I will make my schedule work, because I just need to work out. And I came back in, I think May of 17. So it was like February to May. And actually my dad started, I got him like the gift card for Christmas, and I'm like, all right, I'm out. And,
peace.
and then I came back.
Have fun.
Yeah, good luck. They're really nice, I promise.
Oh, so funny.
And I came back in May, and I was like, I don't want that to happen again. I don't want to go through not coming in for a week, and then, or like coming in like 4 times over a month. Like, I was just like, it sucks. So I came back, and I really haven't stopped coming since. And I don't plan to. I think so yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot. Even in that time period from May of, I can't believe that's already 4 years now, but May of 17 to now, I went through a couple of, not as, like, I think 17 and 18 was a little, Andrea and I were dating seriously. She was in Arlington, I was in Framingham. So the travel, like if I went to Arlington it was just like, it just didn't work. And so I would miss days, but it would drive me nuts internally. And she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I didn't get to the gym today. And she's like, well, what's your problem? I'm like, well, stop living in Arlington. Let's go to Framingham, which ended up happening. I finished the house. Well, enough for us to live in it. And
you put some work into that, man.
Yeah. Sitting in, everything you're looking at is new behind me, new doors and stuff. But
it's awesome.
So yeah, I'm back. I've been really, really consistent probably since 19. And now I know, like, if something is to change in my schedule, that, like you said, Obby's going at 5 a.m. I know that that's the next thing. Right now, 5:30 works. I'm making it work. It's not like 5:30, 3:30. I'll probably go to 3:30 today because it's Friday, so let's get out a little early. But I know I have this like gut feeling that I'll probably end up coming in the morning at some point to like not
being an adult, dude. Doing adult stuff.
It's like almost like a rite of passage, right?
You're speaking to my soul. I feel that, man. House and prioritizing things, and it's great that you're prioritizing so much more consistently now, and seeing you've always seen the benefit to it, but I think putting it into that perspective and that mindset, I think it's, anyone, right? Like you're on the younger side of most of the people that come to our gym, right? But like understanding that at a young age, and I mean, I'm speaking to you and I are about the same age, but understanding that that will carry with you for forever, right? Which is pretty cool. And it's I'm glad that we've had a part in your journey, man. So it's awesome.
Yeah, likewise.
It's awesome. We have to talk about the mustache. That's a pretty easy transition point at this juncture. I started growing a mustache during COVID, and when you started growing a mustache, I thought it was awesome. And you've continued with the mustache after I've shaved my mustache, but you just wear it way better. I couldn't, like I had the caterpillar thing going. Like
you had a mean stash, Mike. Don't downplay your stash.
Yeah, but it wasn't I'm not a stash. I tried to be a stash guy. I wasn't cool enough to be a stash guy. You're definitely a stash guy. Like, what's it? Tell all those people out there that never had the stash power. You know what I mean?
Listen, COVID, like a lot of cool things happened for me over COVID. I mean, got engaged, and I figured out that I could grow a sweet stash. I was always, when I first came to the CFP, I had this stupid chin goatee only. And then it like morphed into just like a face beard thing. And I never moved away from it. Like when I met Andrea, I always had just like this beard, like short beard. And COVID happened, and the stash was like the thing to do. And I was like, screw it. I'm going to freaking grow a mustache. And I actually grew handlebars. I don't know if you remember from the virtual classes. I know
I
Brian and
do.
Will did. Yeah. I had a handlebar mustache and I proposed to Andrea with the handlebar mustache and got the yes. So for everyone who's thinking this is all like a setup, she said yes with handlebar. So it's pretty legit in my book.
You
Can only
keep it
go up
forever
from there,
now.
right?
Can only go up for there. You got to keep it forever now. And you're just now known as a mustache guy.
That's right. I know. And so then I've like kind of messed with it and I would shave it all off. And now this is like the new, I think I'm going to keep like a short beard, but like a fat, furry
And you curl it? Is that a curl? Can you curl it? Yeah, you got the curls.
Sure
Yeah.
can.
You got the beard. You should enter a contest, man. You're like the Monopoly guy, just like at 30.
I know. Oh, it's not allowed for the wedding. So I gotta ride this train till September.
Oh yeah. So what's the date on that?
September 24th.
All right. All right. So you got some months ahead of you. You can still grow that thing out. You got to enter into one of those mustache contests. I think that'd be the most appropriate thing.
I mean, my secret goal is that I just keep it for this long that she'll end up being like, oh, you can't shave it. And then I'm good, but we'll see.
Does it impact your aerodynamics when you're on the snowboard? Because I know you're a big snowboarder.
No, it increases my my snowboarding for sure.
Does it really? It improves your snowboarding skills?
I went last weekend and I actually had a bunch of that's like a badge of honor if you can get like face crystals, and I got some face crystals last weekend. I forgot and I was like, nice. I got some icicles on there, so that was cool.
Nice. Oh, I freaking love that, man. Keivan, I got 3 more questions for you. Okay. Spitfire. This is how we've been ending these community conversations. So, number 1, what's your favorite movie or TV show of all time?
TV show is, some of you are going to guess this before I say it, but Game of Thrones.
That's right. Yes, you were. You played a mean Jon Snow. Yes.
Gone through a lot of personal changes throughout my time at this gym. I had hair down to my shoulders. I had short hair, mustache, but yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Would be a TV show, and then movie. I don't know. Let's go with a kid-friendly one and say Moana.
Moana?
There we go.
I was not expecting Moana on your favorite movie. I think
recently watched, so it's fresh. It's fresh in the head.
I think it just went up a notch in Erin's book. I'll say that because I'm pretty sure that's one of her favorite movies. Favorite musician or artist of all time, or band?
Dispatch is my favorite band.
Oh, dude, that's why I like you so much. I forgot that.
That's right.
That's right. I love that. That is awesome. Okay, and now you went up 2 more notches in my book. And then, so last thing, favorite thing to do when you're not working out or at the gym, or what's your favorite thing to do? Activity?
I don't know. Obviously hanging out with the fiance, that's a given. But if it's an activity, I love spearfishing. And then spearfishing or snowboarding, probably that depends on the season. So
that's awesome. I didn't know you spearfished. What do you just go outside? Like where do you do that?
I usually do it down in like Mystic, Connecticut, Rhode Island, right where there the 2 states meet. You take the boat out, or you can go off the beach too, and it's snorkel and then like a spear gun with like it has an elastic at the tip of the gun, and then it shoots a spear out.
Whenever I hear spearfishing, it reminds me of Castaway and like Tom Hanks with like the what is it like I guess like a spear, like a wooden spear, just from like 30 yards, just pinging a fish. Like it's nothing more badass than that, But that's a movie, right?
Yeah. Good movie.
Awesome. That's an awesome movie.
It is awesome.
Well, dude, Keivan, man, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and again, thank you for being part of the community conversation. And this means so much to me and everyone at Prototype, and then also everyone who's tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, every week we'll be releasing a new community conversation on the new guests to get your week started. So to be the first to know when the new community conversations posted, subscribe to our YouTube page or join our daily brief newsletter. These videos are also posted in our community members only group on Facebook. So if you're a member of Prototype and you're not in the members group on Facebook, let us know. We'll make sure we get you added in there. And then lastly, if you're interested in being on the community conversation, shoot us a message. We would love to have you on. So until next time, see you soon.
Yeah, probably see some of you guys in about an hour.
Damn straight. Thanks,
All
Keivan.
right, man. Thanks, Mike.